On this episode of Hey Hey Linda Purrs, Linda interviews singer-songwriter Nate Jones. Enjoy.
Welcome to Hey Hey Linda Purrs. We're here in Music City, and I get the honor of interviewing people that come to this town. And we have a new person to Nashville. And I find that always exciting because it's just such a wonder. It's like coming to Disney World or something. It's just like, like at Disney World, you have Frontierland and Tomorrowland and all that. Well, Nashville is music land for me, and it's exciting, and I'd imagine it's exciting as a brand new person. And today we're going to talk with Nate Jones,
Hey.
who's just been here less than a year. And what's your take on everything?
Oh man. It's wild. It's a lot of fun. I started coming to Nashville in 2008. So I've been coming to Nashville for 16 years, but um, you know, over the last year that I've lived here, I've noticed how much the city has changed. And I think everybody here knows that if you've been around or if you've been coming to Nashville for long enough, you know like that the city has changed. So it's definitely it's a beautiful town, it's a beautiful place. There's so much opportunity. If you want to pursue it, you can find whatever you want, here, and you can set your goals, you can do whatever you want. So I definitely love the opportunity of it. I'm not a huge fan of how LA we've kind of gotten with like traffic and the how many people are here now. It used to be such like a small town, big town, right? To me, like
Yeah.
you could feel it like close, but it adapts and cities adapt, and you got to change around with that too. So
Right. So even though you're newly living here, you're not new to music. So what you been doing all these years prior to getting out this way?
man, for the last 16 years, I've done music professionally. So when I was 18, I'm 34 now. I was 18 when I started music, and I went to college for 1 year and said, "This isn't for me." I noticed that everybody else that was there was also doing the same thing, kind of just floating our way through, school. And I was like, you know what? I got a plan. I'm gonna go do music. I already wanted to do this. I'd been songwriting for a few years before that, and so at 18, 19 years old, I said, I'm going to go do this professionally. I got to figure out how much money I need. I need to make 12 grand a year in order to know that I can do this thing on my own. I can pay my rent and I can feed myself, and that's it. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
that was, of course, way too long ago to,
Yeah.
to, to make 12 grand matter anymore at this point.
Yeah. Right.
But
You had goals. You
yeah,
had
I had
goals.
goals, and I just said, you know what, this is what I need to do. As an 18-year-old kid, I was like, do it. So, um, I mean, up to this point, I've worked with multiple projects. I had a country rock band called Athens Creek. We were together for
Huh.
10 years. I'm currently working on Medicine the Man, which is a real rock project.
Is
Um,
that a songwriting, or is
so
it a band?
so
What is
that's
that? Medicine
so
Man?
it's beyond a band. It's
Beyond?
beyond a band. It's more than a band. Like it.
Where did I hear the word medicine?
So it's Medicine the Man.
Oh.
Medicine the Man is the group, but
Okay.
it's beyond a band. Like really, the idea is eventually that we're going to get to be a nonprofit that focuses on helping people heal, with music being the core and the center of it. So that's where like I've really tried to focus in on what reason am I doing this for, right? I've run around for so long in this
Oh.
industry and said, hey, like, I'm making music. This was get whatever fame and wealth and all those kinds of things, right? Like everybody's got our big dreams, right?
Right.
And it was like, and we just mentioned this a little bit before the interview. Like, what was your why, right? And like for me, it's been a long life of figuring out how to deal with grief, how to deal with life, how to deal with the hurts that we might have. And so, Medicine the Man is my latest project that I'm working on, and it's all about how do we help other people heal through music. And
Okay.
so
So
it's more than
beyond,
just a
like,
bit.
you're a man sitting here, but beyond the man is like your inner thoughts, your feelings, things you've been through, and how can music help that?
Yeah, how can it help us get through the process? How can it help us heal? How can it help us through whatever, like whatever thing we're processing through? And most of the
Mm-hmm.
time, like my focus has been grief. I've had a lot of loss in my life, and so grief is the biggest one for me that I focus on. But really, it's bringing healing to those people that are grieving. It's finding rest when you're tired, because for the past, I know, 4 years at least, that's the biggest thing I hear from people is like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so and then community, because I think that we're all reliant on each other. Like it's it's belonging. It's like being in a place where you feel like you're heard, you're seen, and the other people that you're with understand. And even if they don't, they at least are listening, right? And so
So your music has a focus. It has a focus on helping people to heal, and that you understand what they're going through, and that maybe some of your songs can help them through all that.
yeah, and even if it doesn't, like, a lot of the songs end up being metaphors, right? Like we end up it's a metaphor for, the way that we as humans experience something. But even if it's just, hey, that's a really great beat and it helped me like not think about the thing, or it helped me process through that thing for
Hmm.
one moment in time, for 3.5 minutes that we're allowed to get somebody's attention or interest. It's like, what can you provide them in that moment, the listener, whether that's myself or somebody that's actually, interested in it, or a fan, or a
So
newbie.
so not only healing, but also just to give your mind something else to think about.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
and not to distract from like we choose a lot of things. Like we choose substance, we choose a lot of different things to distract us from our life, but it's not a distraction. I don't want like this music to be a distraction. I want it to be a moment when you just get to say like, I'm at peace and I'm not worried about the people that are around me, right? Like I'm not worried about like the things around me. I've spent some time with like people on the street who are homeless, and I've spent some time with people with like, playing music for those people. And for a moment you get to see them just kind of say like, I'm not looking over my shoulder. I'm not concerned about these things. So like getting that
Mhm.
for the normal listener, right? Like
Mhm.
that moment of just like, I'm not worried about what's going on around me. And for that minute, like you just get to reset,
Yeah, so
you
your
know?
music is literally reaching out to people, like by going to where homeless people are.
In the hopes of it. Yeah, I mean, I've been a part of projects, but I wouldn't say my music is
And
specifically about going into those places, right? Like,
mhm.
I think the music's for everybody because we're all grieving, or we're all hurting, we're all
Mhm.
lost in so many different ways. Um, but yeah, it's not just about that, but it's using those experiences from what we've done,
Right.
in the places
And
we've been.
it's topics that people don't discuss.
A
Like
lot of it,
people,
yeah.
maybe you miss somebody, it's been 3, 4 years. You don't bring it up to people because they like get over it,
Yeah.
or
Oh yeah. It's like, well, how are you not over that yet? Or
yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah.
or you know, in normal conversation, you don't talk about death or
Right.
anything, and it's like, oh, we're not supposed to talk about that. You just go crazy at a funeral or something.
Right.
You
Well,
know?
and mental health, I mean, it's a trend now. Like mental health has been trending. Like we see the hashtags, like we know like what mental health is, like it's take a bath, it's take a walk, it's like those kinds of things, right? But like but really focusing on like how can you be the best version of you so that you can then go help other people be the best version of them,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And so that's really like the that's the mission behind it
Uh
all, is
huh.
to get you to be at a place. And myself, to be honest, I'm still working on it a
Uh
lot
huh.
every day. Getting to be the best version of me, so that way when I present what I've been given, the gifts that I have, that somebody else is then inspired to then do that, right? And so
Uh huh.
that's the
So,
community
so
part.
do you find yourself when you're, say, doing a gig or something? Do you say, like, if anybody needs to talk later, or
I always invite people in between like breaks. I mean, we do 3 or 4 hour shows sometimes, right?
yeah,
Places. It's always an invitation to like, hey, come chat. You're more than welcome to come talk during the break. I
yeah.
would like a vocal rest, but at the same time, it's okay. Like I'm more than happy to talk with you, or even just hear you talk.
Uh huh.
So at the end of every show, we've always, especially original music shows, I play cover music. I play cover music, I play original music, I play in bars, I play festivals, all that kind of
Uh-huh.
stuff. So it really depends on the environment,
Right.
but
Uh-huh. You
you're
you
always.
gotta read the
Yeah,
audience. You gotta
absolutely.
read the
Well,
crowd.
and read the space. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, by the way, come meet me backstage, and then you realize that there is no backstage.
Yeah.
Like backstage is the bar alley, and I'm not
Yeah.
asking everybody to come meet me in the bar alley. So just reading the environment too. But yeah, it's always an open invitation. Like, hey, if you want to chat, like you are more than welcome to. And it's not my obligation to be there for every single person, right?
Right.
But we want to create an environment and a community where you can come to and say,
Mhm.
hey, like this is what I'm kind of going through right now, and someone else can be there for you, right? It's not, because otherwise I can't take on the weight of the world. Like I
Right.
don't have that,
Right.
and no one should, right?
Right.
And I wouldn't want to either. And so it's finding that group of people where you can bring your problems, be there together, and like just get through it, right?
Yeah, but you're like music with a purpose, or music with a mission, or I'm on a
Yeah.
mission for God,
Oh
like in
yeah.
Blues
Well,
Brothers.
yeah. We're on a mission for God.
Yeah.
Yeah. That. But really, like, it is very missional. Like, it is mission based. Like, we want to do something that matters, and it's not just about, like I said, it's not about the fame and the fortune anymore. It's like, I need 1 million people to listen to this so that 1,000 people actually get what they need,
Well, you need a
right?
million people to listen to it so you can get $1 from Spotify.
Well, yeah, I don't. Is that even $1? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's probably 80 cents or something.
But it's really like, it's like in order for the right people to hear it, and I don't mean that there's wrong people listening, but I
Right.
mean for the people who are
Who
really
need it?
truly
Who are
saying, I'm
who
grieving
need it?
right now
Yeah.
and I want them to hear it. Like, it's like, this is mission based, because it's like, yeah, we want those 1,000 people or 100 people, whatever it's going to be. I would say one person, but like, that's me. I've already been
That you
affected by
can
this.
touch. You're
Yeah.
you're there to touch someone if they need it, and you have a purpose behind what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now, so the medicine,
Medicine the Man.
medicine, the man.
Hmm.
Now, is this your band
So I
or
wrote all the songs.
you?
I went and worked in with a producer. We
An
had
album?
it's 5 songs right now.
Okay.
So we're not sure what the next phase is, because I like, this is rock right now, and like, I think that different people heal in different ways from
Mhm.
music. So we're gonna probably shift focus into something a little bit lighter, maybe, so that way we can reach the audiences that we want to reach.
Mhm.
Um, but so I worked with a producer. His name was Jerry Fee. We worked out of Columbia, Tennessee. So we were
Mhm.
south. We did some recording in like Thompson Station. We did some recording in Nashville, Franklin. We were kind of all over the
Oh,
place
you mean
for
like video, like
no, like
for a music
studio
video?
recording.
Oh,
Sorry, studio
okay.
recording.
Oh, he has a different studio.
No, we did on the spot record, like, places. So we
Oh,
worked with
okay.
Two
Okay.
Cats, Two Cats recording studio in Thompson Station. So that was an actual studio. We rented an Airbnb in Franklin to like do a lot of this stuff. We worked in a church basement on some of like the mixing and mastering and stuff. So we kind of, like, we went on location to do these recordings, and
Okay.
it just mobile, and it was awesome. It was so much
Uh-huh.
fun to be in different places, and we
Yeah.
brought in different musicians to work on the project. So
Okay.
it's a full band project. I just haven't built the touring band yet,
So you
right?
had session musicians
Right.
working for you,
Different,
and
and ourselves, and
wow, this
so
is a whole big concept, and
it
then a vibe, and
collaboration,
then
and yeah.
and then because usually when you go in to do a song, you're in the same place, and you do all your songs
Right.
in the same place. So
Hmm.
so that is a different idea there, just to like, okay, we'll get a little different sound here and
Yeah,
different
a
sounds
different
here.
vibe for each song,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, they all collectively sound together, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're connected, but each song then has its own different character, its own personality, and so when you're talking to somebody specifically about their personality, I think these songs are gonna reach out, right? Like, I had a 35-year-old middle-aged man in mind who's just tired, and he's worked his whole life to for his wife and his kids, and he's getting to that middle age, right? And you're just exhausted, right? And so, like, that personality, that guy was in mind when I wrote one of these songs, right? And then I had a 14-year-old girl who's just looking for, never necessarily had the love from her father that she wanted,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so she was in mind in one of the other songs, right? And so, like, giving those songs the personality, and I mean, that could connect to anybody. You don't necessarily
Right.
know, but having a person in mind, even when we were recording these songs, was like very intentional.
Right.
So,
Okay. Well, that's good.
and
So
so much fun.
yeah.
Like,
So you're producing all this, and then you're playing songs around individually.
hmm.
And how can people get hold of you if they want you to come play,
So
or where can they hear your music?
yeah, so I mean, all the social media stuff. My name's Nate Jones, and so it's a very common name. And if you actually look for Nate Jones, like, there's
Woo!
5, 6, 7, 8. Like, there's like and we're all over the world apparently. And so Nate Jones was apparently a name that was made to make music. Um, so NateJonesMusic.com is my website,
Okay.
and from there you can find links to Athens Creek, which was my country rock project I worked on for 10 years. You can find links to Medicine the Man, which is the new stuff that's coming around. So that is like the most direct way. But you can find me on social media pretty much just by looking up Nate Jones Music. Instagram, it's at Nate Jones Music. TikTok, it's at Medicine the Man, because that's our new brand that we're moving into.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm always Nate Jones, right? Whenever I play Johnny Cash, or whenever I play songs that I've written, whenever I play, like whatever music that is.
Mm-hmm.
But Medicine the Man is a band that I work with, and Athens Creek is a band that I work with. So
Right.
branding it, those are, all different brands.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're ever looking to find out where I am, Nate
Yeah.
Jones Music is the best way to find that, and that's usually no spaces. It's just Nate Jones Music.
Nate Jones Music.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm sure people will be looking you up. It all sounds very interesting,
Yeah.
and we're going to hear a couple songs from you now.
Awesome. I'm excited to
So
play it.
yeah, I'm really glad you stopped by
Linda,
today.
thank you so
Nice
much for
meeting
having
you.
me. And
You're welcome.
thank you. All right, so this song is called Ignite Fire. It is for the band Medicine the Man. I wrote it. It's just a song about getting up from the place that you've been and seeing what comes new. It's a phoenix reigniting kind of thing, but ignite fire. I'm tired of sitting in one place. I'm tired of trying to save face. I'm tired of losing what I love. Just let the dogs of war run. And I'm tired of eating from their hand. I'm tired of sticking with the plan. Oh, I'm so tired of being tired. Let's turn these ashes into fire. Fire. Let's turn these ashes into fire. Fire. To fire. We'll turn these ashes into fire. We're strong enough to face the odds. We'll let them know we can't be bought. The house can't win if we don't play. It's time for us to end the game. So like a phoenix we will rise, leaving stardust in the sky. Sparks will flutter in the night. Upon the ground they will ignite. To fire. To fire. Let's turn these ashes into fire. Fire. To fire. We'll turn these ashes into fire. So like a phoenix we will rise, leaving stardust in the sky. Sparks will flutter in the night. Upon the ground they will ignite. To fire. To fire. Let's turn these ashes into fire. To fire. To fire. We'll turn these ashes into fire. To fire. To fire. We'll turn these ashes into fire. So I wrote this song called So Alive a couple years back. My wife and I had got a divorce, and I was reminiscing about some of the happiest times of my life. Just thinking about the places that she and I had been, some of my childhood. And a few years later, my wife and I reconnected. We got remarried after 3 years of being separated. And this song still holds its position for me, just because of the place that I was in when I wrote it, just reminiscing about us and our wedding day. and I hope it brings a little bit of sweet nostalgia for you as well. The song's called So Alive. This creek keeps rolling on. This stone finally found a home. Peaceful on this riverbed is where I rest. This grass grows greener still. I don't need what's over the hill, 'cause my side of the fence ain't just a picture hanging on my wall. Whoa, whoa, mama's dinner bells ringing. Whoa, whoa, sounds of angels singing. Daddy's car pulling up the drive, crickets singing in the night. Whoa, whoa, never felt so alive. Whoa, never felt so alive. I'll reach to your side of the bed, and I'll gently pull you in and whisper in your ear, our love's never gonna end. 'Cause our grass grows greener still. I don't need what's over the hill, 'cause our side of the fence ain't just a picture hanging on our wall. Whoa, whoa, I hear the church bells ringing. Whoa, whoa, Buddy Holly singing. When Daddy walks you down the aisle, you turn to me and smile. Whoa, never felt so alive. Whoa, never felt so alive. And if we climb upon that hill to find a place to just be still, world around us slips away. We find peace as we say, and our grass grows greener still. I don't need what's over the hill, 'cause our side of the fence ain't just a picture hanging on our wall. So alive. Oh, I feel so alive.
This episode of Hey Hey Linda Purrs is sponsored by... Come on down to Grandpa's Music at 1033 Park Street in Westmoreland. Live bluegrass, country, and gospel music every Saturday night. Shows start at 6 p.m. and admission is $8. First Fridays we feature karaoke and Grandpa's Music Jam Session 10 to 2 p.m. on the second and fourth Tuesday. New and seasoned musicians are always welcome for music lessons, so bring the whole family. Grandpa's Music at 1033 Park Street in Westmoreland.